These are the ingredients you're going to need for tonight's steak sandwich. So we've got 4 ribeye steaks there, about 200 grams each. Doesn't have to be ribeye, but I've got ribeye tonight. We're going to make a whole grain mustard mayonnaise, so we're going to need 2 teaspoons of whole grain mustard, 200 grams of mayonnaise. We're going to need 100 grams of roquette, about 3 or 4 tomatoes, some Parmesan cheese, about 100 grams of pesto, homemade pesto. I made that yesterday. A little bit of olive oil and a large ciabatta slip. Hi guys, welcome back. So tonight I'm going to be making a steak sandwich, not just any normal steak sandwich. This is a monster. So we're going to be making, like I say, a steak sandwich. I've got some ribeye steak here from Tom Hickson. Tom Hickson's doing his home delivery. Fantastic beef, beautiful marbling. I just happen to have ribeye. It doesn't have to be ribeye. It can be bavette. It can be entrecote, sirloin, whatever beef you want. I'm using ribeye tonight, but that's courtesy of Tom Hickson down at Smithfields, and he's doing his home delivery thing right now. Fantastic produce. So also I have got a rather large ciabatta slipper from Paul Rhodes. Paul Rhodes, who's the artisan baker down in Greenwich. Again, he's doing his home delivery bread right now. Fantastic bread, some of the best bread in London for sure. So I'm going to be using his ciabatta tonight. I'm going to be making some Pommery mustard mayonnaise. I already made a pesto. I think it was yesterday. I did a video yesterday. Just I had some old basil left in the fridge. Great idea if you know, instead of throwing out your herbs, make a pesto out of it. And we're going to garnish the salad with some rocket salad and some tomato. So as always, guys, we're gonna start with the steak. So I think this is the second time I've cooked steak now. No difference cooking the bavette. We're gonna get our grill hot. You guessed it, nuclear hot. So we're going to season up our steak slightly here. I'm not going to use any oil in the steak. There's quite a lot of fat on that ribeye, so that'll just be, there'll be enough fat on the ribeye to cook the ribeye itself. So again, season your steaks up, chefs, and then we're just going to put the ribeye on again. Really roasting hot griddle there. And you can hear that sound straight away. That's a sound you want to be hearing. You don't want to be hearing it boiling away. So, steak's on. So we're going to do this in stages tonight, guys. That's going to take, a good 7 to 8 minutes to cook there. So we're going to let that cook, and we're going to come back, and while it's resting, then we're going to build up the sandwich. We'll see you later. Okay, steaks are ready. I'm just going to take the steaks off and let them rest over here. I'm going to let them rest for about 3 to 5 minutes, guys. That gives us plenty of time to get the ingredients ready for the sandwich. I'm going to show you that ribeyes. Beautiful. So that's ribeye from Tom Hickson down in Smithfields. Alright, so we'll let that rest. And I'm going to use all the fat and all the juices from that pan to grill my ciabatta. So I'm just going to cut the ciabatta in half. Like so. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in there, not too much, because we've got a little bit of fat left in that pan. And I'm just going to put the bread on the pan like that. that bread's going to toast away, and it's going to take on all the flavours from the beef and all that fat from the beef. So I'll leave that there for a couple of minutes. So we're going to make the grey mustard mayonnaise. Very simple. So it's just mayonnaise, 200 grams. If you feel like making it yourself, make it yourself. If not, just buy it in. So we got 200 grams of mayonnaise, and then 2 teaspoons of grain mustard. I really do like grain mustard. It's nice and fiery, and it's also nice to get that little pops of the mustard seed, which I really like. Mustard beef classic. So we'll just mix it up with the mayonnaise. That'll just soften the fieriness of the mustard, but it really keeps the sandwich nice and moist. So there we have it. That's our grey mustard mayonnaise. So yesterday, wow, that's beautiful. Yesterday I made some pesto. I just found some old basil in the fridge, so rather than throw it out, I decided to make my own pesto here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to that pesto, just to thin it out a little bit, because we're going to be sort of like dressing the rocket with that pesto. So I've just thinned out the pesto just a little bit, just to make it a bit more runnier. So we're just going to check on this bread. Wow, that's great. Put the other one on. Like so. Beautiful. So that's our bread. So it's toasted, and then you're going to get all that fat from the beef in there, and all that flavour from the beef. So I'm going to start to make my sandwich. I'll use this big board here. So first thing, we're going to put on the mayonnaise. I went vegetarian last night, guys, so tonight I fancy a bit of meat, and I had some steak in the fridge, so we opted for the steak sandwich tonight. So some grey mustard on top of the toasted ciabatta. Just going to take some tomatoes. Obviously I've washed the tomatoes. Just going to slice them. Any tomato will do, a plum tomato, you know, a beef tomato. Tomatoes are banging season right now. You know, you've got the English tomatoes coming through at the moment. There's a lot of English produce coming through at the moment. You know, you've got the asparagus coming through, the Jersey Royals. Great produce, great produce. So, we've got the sliced tomato. Just check on this bread. Lovely. Just going to put the tomato on the bread. Like so. This is actually nice with caramelized red onion, or if you have a like an onion chutney or a tomato chutney, you know, get the chutney on at this point. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt on top of the tomato, just to help the flavors of the tomato come out, and the salt will just help extract that flavor out of the tomato. So, steaks are good, bread is good. How's this doing? That's looking great. I'm just going to toast the other side on that one as well. So, I've got my tomato on. Some rocket. I'm just going to take some rocket. A little bit of oil. A little bit of salt. And then just rest that a little bit. Rocket on top of the tomato like so. I'm going to make another sandwich up later. I'm going to show you one now, but as I say, all these ingredients here, this would be enough for about 4 people. That ciabatta's just coming along nicely. So I'm going to slice the beef. So ribeye, high hung but wet hung, still great flavour. Checking this bread. Wow. So I'm happy with that. Beautiful. Ooh. So we're just going to put our beef strips on top of the sandwich like so. Smells great, guys. Smells great. Tastes great as well. So, beef on. A little bit of sea salt. I'm just going to put a bit more grey mustard mayonnaise on top of this ciabatta here. That'll just help moisten it up. And then here's the pesto that I made the other day. Just thinned it down with a bit of olive oil. Just going to get some pesto on top of there. Okay guys, so we've got the pesto on top of there. Just going to put a bit of parmesan on top of there. I found some Grana Padano in the fridge. You could use some Reggiano. It's up to you. I'll just tidy that sandwich up a little bit. Bread on top, like so. So remember guys, this is for 4 people. So I'm just going to take some sticks, like so. So 1, 2, 3. I mean, you may be able to eat that yourself, guys. You know, I mean, man versus food. I don't know. Maybe it's a challenge, but tonight it's we're serving it for 4 people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this into 4, and then we're going to serve it. I'm just going to cut it open so you can see what it looks like. I'll put it up to the camera there now. So that's what we're looking at, guys. It looks like a boat. Beautiful. So we're going to cut it into 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to serve this with some chips tonight, guys. Just some chips on the side. Wow. So there we have it, guys. I've cut the steak into 4. Just going to show you what this is going to look like. Oh, looks amazing. So there we have it. Steak sandwich tonight. So I'm going to serve this some French fries on the side, or chips, whatever you've got. So it's God bless, stay home, stay safe, and I'm going to eat this and enjoy, guys. Good night.